Life Over Coffee. Conversations for Transformation.
Marriage devotion number 4, the title of it is The Main Reason You Need Someone. The text is Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. Then the Lord God said, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helper fit for him." The difference in how you read this verse depends on whether you are looking through a dirty or clean window. If you are interpreting Adam's situation through the lens of your depravity, that would be a dirty window as you're looking back into the text. Then it would be easy to conclude that Adam was lacking and longing for more than what he had. If you're interpreting Adam's situation through the lens of contentment, a clean window, meaning before the fall, which was his state prior to the fall in Genesis 3:6, then your understanding of why the Lord said it was not good for him to be alone will be much different. The tendency is to look at Genesis 2:18 from our experience of loneliness, our fallen experience of loneliness and despair and needs, which can tempt us to upload the text from a sin-centered, dirty window perspective. We're reading into the text from our presuppositional lens. Thus, we will look back at the text while mapping our experience over it. Adam was not in sin at the time of this text. His thoughts, his feelings were remarkably different from how we experience life today in a fallen state. It had not occurred to Adam that there was a problem with not having a wife, since no such thing existed at that time. The cliche, "you can't know what you can't know," has an important application here. It reminds me of a newly hatched duck that sees a dog before it sees anything else. What does it do? It follows the dog, which becomes the duck's parent. A duck does not know what you know, so it follows the dog. Adam was living large. He was benefiting from all the Lord created. To speculate that Adam longed for something that did not exist would be pushing the text just a little bit too far. Adam was the hatched duckling. His life was awesome, but the Lord was in creative mode. He knew what Adam needed, and he knew what needed to happen. Adam was not part of the decision-making committee. Adam's role was to be the happy recipient of whatever the Lord decided to bring his way. What Adam lacked was not someone to fill his empty love cup, that's you and me, but someone who would allow him to display God in the world in a more complete way. Adam was like the world's greatest baseball player with no place to play. He was suited up and equipped in the image of God, but had no place to do the one thing he was designed to do, which was to image the divine community of Father, Son, and Spirit. Adam did not need love as much as he needed someone to receive his love. When Jesus talked about relationships, he did not talk about what he needed from them, but what we needed to do for them. For example, when Christ talked about how to live out the Bible well, he said to love the Lord and others most of all. The primary direction of God's love is always toward others, not toward ourselves, that inwardly curbed desire that we have to fill our insatiable love cup. That's not the direction of the gospel. That is not the direction of God's love. When Paul talked about man's relationship with his wife, he said that he should give his life for her in Ephesians 5:25. When Paul gave his version of the two great commandments, he stated that we should count others more significant than ourselves in Philippians 2, verses 3 and 4. In a God-centered world, our thoughts are always directed to God and others as we love ourselves, which is already assumed, which is critical insight when we think about Adam's world. He did not need Eve as though there was something sinfully wrong with him. He needed Eve so he could more effectively image the divine community that created him. Eve did not need Adam's love because there was nothing sinfully wrong with her. She was not a needy creature. She needed Adam so that she could serve, so that she could have the opportunity to love, so she could put the Trinity on display, similar to how Adam was treating her. Let's take some time to reflect. Marriage devotion number 4. What is the main reason you want your spouse? To meet your desires or to spread the fame of God? Would you be willing to explain your answer to your spouse? If your marriage is not in a good place or great shape to where you can talk at this level, would you talk to a mentor, someone who is spiritually mature that you can share these thoughts with, someone of the same gender? And here is a practical suggestion. What do you need to change about yourself to position your marriage to more effectively spread God's fame? In the context of this devotion, number 4, you must ensure the direction of your love goes from you and not toward or inward to you. In what specific way do you need to change so that you can love God and love your spouse more effectively? By the way, you'll find a reciprocation there. As you do that, you will experience God's favor on your life, and you will find your life more contented and more satisfying than ever the more you pour yourself into others. This is Marriage Devotion number 4. The title of it is The Main Reason You Need Someone.
Thanks for joining us. Learn more and get access to other resources at lifeovercoffee.com.